Okay, so when we take a look at this, um, we don't need to have multiple doc readies. You have one doc ready, it does the same thing. You just include it up here with this. And there's some conflicts going on. So I'm not sure why you would have a paragraph here for your subtotal because you're not really appending it. You're just adding it to your field for that purpose. So what will happen is, just like in exercise 2, you probably have variables up here after you add the information in. Like, for example, the tax. You would just cut this out and you would put it up here in your, let me see where, let me just make sure I have the right codes in your click function. So I'll just put it right after this comment. So what you do is you do your calculations, for this, and you put them in variables, and then eventually what will happen is, just like in exercise 2, you have to assign the value to the input field. Okay, so if I go back down here and let's take a look here. And you have the VAL right here. So you would assign that value up like that. Assume all the code's correct. And so there's no need for you to append and turn off the clicks because that's all done up here in the first function. So that's probably causing conflict there. So if I delete all these other doc readies, let me just see here. Yeah, there's something else I have to look at. Oh, it's not working because I don't have the variable subtotal in yet. So it's trying to find subtotal and it can't find it. So before you calculate your tax, you have to have a variable that calculates the subtotal. And again, that's going to take into the discount that you have up there. Now the problem with that is that you might have to readjust the discount. So like, for example, you'll have another variable and we'll just name it discount A. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the discount and the number, and because if it comes up as 10, that's not 10%. So then you're basically going to have to use a division and put that in there and store it in there, and then you're going to use the subtotal to multiply it by a certain price. So pretty much you got to get these other variables up here. And you don't have to repeat everything up here because it's already been done for that. And the only thing we want to see would be the message appearing. You can say, hey, 10% discount, and then that repeats itself, and then everything else would be filled. So the only assumption here that you would have to do is put in like a total amount. So you can keep that as a fixed price, fixed total, or you can actually put in a prompt that says, hey, what's your total? After I click. So right here, once I do the click, I can actually go in and say, I can add a prompt, and then type in like a message and say, hey, what's your total information? So that's something you could do as well. Hopefully it helps.